me sit in your lap, Butch?
Yeah.
Let me sit in your lap?
Yeah.
Okay, you're live, guys.
What do you think?
We're live. We're live.
You're live.
Hey, folks. We're a few minutes late here, as usual. Technical difficulties. Thanks to all these good internet companies. They teach you to use their equipment and their systems, and then they change it every 37 days. So, Carol Ann's still fiddling and diddling over there. What do you think, Scott? You got any good news popping around the corner?
We didn't get hit by no hurricanes.
Oh, shit, that's true.
They did down south, though.
Yeah.
So about
yeah.
a million people out of power, but no, it's business as usual. Business as usual.
Summertime in Texas.
Yes.
So we've been. This is a topic near and dear to my heart, and this goes to all the training techniques going on. First, let me background training a little bit. So now I'm going to talk about, in this case, the more what people call positive training, right? Not a vote for or against, just the facts. So one thing we know with scientific studies, they took the three, what you got, Carol Ann?
I just want to let you know I can see the feet.
Carol Ann's over there doing sign
You can see our
language.
feet.
You can't see my feet?
They can.
They can. Oh.
That's okay. Aries can stand there in a way.
Hi.
Okay, folks. So we got a new game. If you guess what size shoe I'm wearing, you win a 3-month subscription to whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna try and get started on dog training. We know that there's 3 main ways people train when they're doing the positive stuff. Okay. You got, and the scientists, the behaviorists, I mean, they study and did studies to see what's more effective for dogs. What do they learn quickest from? And they chose the 3 stimulus that they think are what dogs learn from the quickest. That is the human voice, the human touch, and food. Okay? Makes sense?
Yes.
And what did they discover every time they put blood pressure monitors? Excuse me, if you've never had a Doberman in your crotch, you don't know what you're missing. Get out of the way, Aries. So what did they learn? What stimulates a dog the most? Well, it worked out like this. Food gets the dog's attention. It gets its excitement level up the quickest. And what they did is they put heart rate monitors and all this other stuff, and they also draw a bit of blood to, I forget the hormone that indicates excitement, but they tested that at the time that they're doing. So first they'd have the owners say their dog's name and talk to them. They check all the pulse meters and the heartbeat and the blood and all that stuff. Then they would have the owners pet the dog. They would also test all these same things.
Aries, stop. Sorry, Butch. He likes you, sir.
Oh, excuse me, the dog likes me. It's very flattering, I must admit. I think I'm wearing my new hat. He must like it.
What it is, man.
Anyway, so let's go back to the 3. So you got your voice, you got physical touch, you got food, and then they added a 4th. They added voice and physical touch. And the way they came out rating was food excites the dog the quickest. But guess what? The physical touch excites the dog as much as food. And the least exciting, although it's still exciting, the one that doesn't get the highest level is the voice. Now, the voice and touch together are better than food. They get them even more excited, right? So what I drew from this originally was that food is great for excitement, but it's not as good. It's great, so you can teach with it real easy because you can draw the picture of where you want the dog to go, and they can follow the odor, right? But for the actual reward part, petting your dog gets him as excited as the food. The only problem is you can't say, okay, you put your butt down, I'll pet you. You know, he don't. So there's one thing that's better than all three of these put together. The one thing excites the dogs more than your voice and your stroking, or more than food, and that is the original Mother Nature's training system. The oldest training system, the most natural training system in the world. What do you think it is, Scott?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh. Put him on the spot.
I don't know.
He don't care either.
Play.
What, Carol Ann?
Play.
Ah, Carol Ann got it. You always ask a woman.
I knew. I just wanted her to say it.
You just want her to say it.
Oh.
Oh, you're getting lucky tonight, man. That's all I can say. Okay, yeah, play. If you think about when I said nature's original training system. Now here's how I know dogs get more excited with play than they do with food or petting or voices. If I'm training a bomb detection dog or a narcotics detection dog, and don't take my word for it, go to your local PD department and ask them what they reward their narc dogs with, their bomb dogs with, ordnance dogs. They're all going to tell you his ball or his tug. And when the behaviorists are studying all these dogs, that's exactly what they do. I'm fond of saying scientists, and especially behaviorist scientists, you know, they study dogs 8 hours a day, and they try this experiment, and they try that experiment, and they try the other experiment, and then at the end of the day, they go home and feed their goldfish, because I don't think half of them ever even owned a dog, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really watch a dog in its natural environment. Had they watched their natural environment, they'd have pulled out a ball for some of these dogs and found out that is the ultimate. Dogs work harder for that than they will for anything else. So why not employ, I mean, you've seen, I'm sure everyone who watches this has seen a lot of the YouTube stuff with the drug dogs just doing everything they can to get, or just sitting like a rock and not moving until they get their ball, right? Until they get their tug. That's intensity. You can get that same intensity, and a lot of the top trainers that I've seen in different countries use that exact system. They use play. So you can get your dog excited, say, you know, wiggle something, they grab it, they start pulling, they get excited, you pull back, they pull harder, you pull this way, they pull even harder, then you pop it out of their mouth real quick and you say, sit. And in the, yeah, exactly, boom. In the excitement, they don't think, they don't act on your command, they react to that command, and they always react like they should. Always react like they're supposed to. So what do? You go, here it is again. And now you've got these dogs that you can be jogging, going somewhere, and you can go down and they go. That's the benefit of play if you're working with a dog. Now you got to make sure it's, you know, some dogs are not as inclined to that. The spaniels and setters may or may not be as keen on certain toys. They like to go get something. Basset hounds, they're in a world of their own. I don't care. Nothing else to say about basset hounds. What you got, Carol Ann?
Scott's parents said hello.
Oh,
All right.
so
But also, you can incorporate play with everything training you do.
like what do you mean, Scott?
Call offs, bite work, outs, agility work, pretty much across the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
Obedience, that
Yeah.
we're talking about. You just gotta be smart enough to incorporate it and then make it part of the routine, and you know, because to me, using treats and whatnot, that's to get them started.
Yep.
I think. Then you win them off the food and start playing with them.
Mm-hmm.
And like we talked about, even when you're out there walking them, playing around with them, actually can throw in a little training there too
Absolutely.
as they're playing. So they will go ahead and actually associate play with training, and it becomes synonymous and streamlined.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
they won't, it'll become, how do you say, they don't think, they just do what goes.
They just react.
Yep.
Yep. And that's, so think about it this way, scientifically, for all you behaviorist types out there, we know that dogs are associative learners. They associate a sound with an action. But not just dogs. All land predators are associative learners. A wolf, a tiger chases a rabbit into a hollow log, and he goes to that front of that hollow log, and he scratches and he digs and he tears, and while he's digging and tearing and trying to get into that log to get that rabbit, all of a sudden he hears a noise and he looks up, and at the other end of the hollow log is that rabbit. Now, the next time that wolf goes and chases a rabbit that runs into a log, I guarantee you from that one experience, he's going to run, watch that rabbit run in the log, and he's going to sit back 20 feet and wait to see which end it comes out of. They're very quick at figuring things out that are good, bad, or for survival. So these are the things, what Scott's talking about, like you go on a walk. If you're walking your dog, if you're playing ball with your dog, and you incorporate obedience commands when he's excited, because of the way their nervous system is made up, these commands being done when they're in a state of excitement, that command will eventually become as exciting as the activity they were engaged in.
Yes, and also, as the commands get exciting, it relates to reward. So to me, that would mean that the command comes out and you know it's going to get to play.
Right.
Like, to do the command, you see the food, the lures, they'll know they do this, but they'll figure it out, right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
already at that point
Sure.
that they'll know there's certain commands and even showing it to them.
That's it.
Ooh. And all the dog just totally shifts and makes associative learning, as you're saying, a lot easier.
Yeah.
Don't need no fancy gadgets or
Nope. A little bit of patience and think about, you heard a story about the little old lady that says, well,
Fritzy is so, she just gets so, I just show her my leash and she wants to go for a walk. She gets so excited.
and you all know people who've experienced that, and you probably have as well. Scott knows, yeah.
I touch my damn shoes at anywhere between the hours of 4 and 7. It's on.
It's on, that means one thing.
One thing.
Mm-hmm.
Associate the shoes with, because I like to go a lot of places with them, take them out.
Right.
And to the point now where you kind of have to, because they know they'll block the door. Anyway, it just, but that's the same thing. They learn and they associate,
Right.
and if they're and
They pattern it all out in their head, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We talk about how dogs like routines. They, a routine or a pattern, that's the same thing.
the recognition though, the recognition of the shoes triggers something that he knows. Ooh, walk. The toe away triggers play. Ooh, I gotta do something for that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's patternized, but it's just recognition.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's training or not. They know.
That's
It's
exactly right.
a natural instinct for them.
Right. That's why in my little book I call lifestyle training, because I don't set aside a training time for my dog.
Nope.
That's what everybody says, if you go to all the little pet store training classes that say, training's a lifetime affair. It is. And you got to set aside so many minutes a day and train in a certain place at a certain time, no distractions, which is nonsense, because your dog's going to have to perform these maneuvers you ask him to perform everywhere with distraction.
No. Okay. They're right to a point, because it's all part of the growing process, right?
It's a process.
No distractions. When they introduce distractions,
Right.
specific times, no, I don't. It just never is. You can, but it isn't.
You'll never stick to that schedule.
No, but you can just. You don't have to do that.
No. No.
Because in real life, if you have real life, you can't schedule that.
No. No. We won't let you.
You can if you're a dog trainer.
Yeah.
Right.
If that's what you're doing. Your
But I
job,
mean,
yeah.
at home, and then when you're starting them out, you said mealtime training. But that's all part of the system, you know.
It's all lifestyle.
Yep.
When you're feeding, when you're playing, when you're walking. Just incorporate it into your lifestyle, and your lifestyle, if you own a dog, should include playtime and walks. So if you're doing those things and you simply start asking your dog to follow these commands, I need to pull up some of the old videos I got of some of my earlier shepherds where we'd go out here on this road and walk, and I never used a leash, Taza would go out there, and we had some steers out here in this pasture. If they were up by the fence, she'd go up there and check them out. I'd just say her name, and she'd be back in front of me
Yep.
that quick. So it was all incorporated in our everyday lifestyle.
What you
Yes,
got?
ma'am. What do you got?
Question.
Yeah.
It says, what can you do if you get a shelter dog who's been kind of shut down and doesn't seem to show interest in a tug or a ball? Is there something you can do?
Yeah. All right, so anytime you're dealing with a shelter dog, we do a lot of rescues. I want to encourage people, especially right now, the shelters are full all over this country. All the people that got the dogs when there was COVID going on have decided they shouldn't have done that in the first place, and they brought the dogs back. As humans are also responsible and caring. So there's an abundance of dogs in the shelters. I mean, some great. I've got a black German Shepherd, purebred, probably a $2,000 pup. Some lady pulled out of an SUV and drove off and left here 3 weeks ago. Call me. Now, back to your question. Since we don't know the background on these dogs, there's one stimulus that is going to probably work. Remember, when we're talking about tugs and balls, we're talking about a dog who is stable, relatively confident and calm, raised in a good environment. If I get, for instance, when I had guard dogs, I would have people bring me dogs that were mean and vicious. That's all there was to it. And they'd want to get them in to be a guard dog. Most of them I would not take because they were fear biters. It's entirely different. Guard dogs can't be just fear biters. They have to have confidence. So I would take every dog and test them for a while, and the way I'd get to them is with food. Once you get that shelter dog confident in you, comfortable with your leadership, because that's what it's really about.
We talked about it last week.
It's what?
Talked about it last week.
Oh, that's right, we did, didn't we?
Build a relationship with your dog.
Yeah.
Learn the dog. Shelter dog, learn the dog. You can use the food.
Mm-hmm.
Build a bond there. The dog starts to trust you.
Yep.
And once the dog trusts you, it'll make it easier.
Yeah, and then...
But it won't happen overnight.
Yeah, no, it will not happen overnight. So just go to him every chance you get. Whenever you say his name, give him a treat or give him a pat. Now, after a couple of weeks, when you see that tail wagging when you offer him something, that's going to be your first indication that he's got real confidence in you, all right? Where people make a mistake if they want their dog to play with a ball or to start him on a tug, they'll take the ball, and men, guys, 9 out of 10 of you listening to this are going to say bullshit, right? But this is what you do. You take your ball and you ping, you throw it. You want to see if you can hit it further than throw it further than Hank Aaron can catch it, right? What happens with most dogs is, since it's going up in the sky and they're not Labrador retrievers looking for birds, when it lands somewhere out there, they may never see it. And then even if they see it, when they run to it, when they get there, it's just a blob sitting on the ground. And people have come out here and told me my dog won't play with the ball. And 10, 15 minutes later, I've got their dog chasing a ball.
What do balls do?
Huh?
What do balls do well?
Yeah.
What do they do well?
What do they do well? What do balls do well? They bounce.
Ooh. Imagine that.
Scott, what does a rabbit do well?
Run, bounce, jump around.
Jumps.
Yep.
So Now, if you take your ball, try this with your shelter dog. You may be able to do it right now. Take that tennis ball, bounce it a time or two. But when you want your dog to learn how to fetch, retrieve, and all this other stuff, don't throw the ball sky high. Let it land somewhere 20 yards away. Take it, skim it along the ground, make it bounce.
Skip it like a rock.
Yeah, like you're making at a lake with a rock. Make that ball bounce like a rabbit jumping away. Start with it like that, and I guarantee you they will start chasing it. Even your spaniels and your setters eventually. Although most of them are going to want to go, you know, because that's what we bred them to do. They don't. But give them enough time, and they're going to do that bouncing. Bounce in front of a lab. He's a retriever. He's going to go get that sucker. You know. Again, scratch basset hounds and bloodhounds. We're not going to talk about them. If they don't smell it, it ain't real. That's all it is. That's their life.
Earth is, they're flat earthers. Earth is flat.
Yeah. So remember, the oldest, most effective training system in the world, and the reason I say the oldest in the world is because Mama Wolf, 10,000 years ago, watched her pups run out and get curious about a lizard moving quickly, attracting its attention. And when it grabbed that lizard, it got a meal. And it immediately said, this is how we start. And then when they all had a nap and they're feeling frisky, they jump up and the pups will start fighting. And you can hear them growling and snarling and grabbing that front leg and pulling their adversary out on his butt. And that'd be the same way a pack of them will take down a moose or an elk when they get older. So the excitement of play, no matter how it's induced, creates a guaranteed habit in a dog that will make them follow through every time. Right, Joey? Joey's sitting over there nodding.
Yes, sir. So, what I've gathered, so you set the foundation and everything with the treat, right? You
Yep.
teach with
Yep.
the treat, and then you fine tune everything and hone it all in with the toy, right?
Right. That's when you go to your toy. And that's when you start building the excitement. And once you get the dog excited about doing something, you just, you know, like I said, go for a walk. When you go for a walk, if you're lucky enough to have a place you can walk without a leash, have one or two balls stuck in your bait bag and just throw a ball out there, let the dog go get it.
What's after that, though? What's after that?
Well, then call the
No.
dog.
So we got the toys, but it comes to a point, your dog is so conditioned that you don't need the toy anymore.
Oh, yeah.
You'll do it just to do it, to please him.
Exactly.
Just to do it.
Just to do it.
Excited to do something.
That's it. Oh, good way to put it, Scott.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And get your, not bless, how do you say? You like the dog.
Your
Good
excitement.
boy. Your reward would be, his reward would be you praise him.
Yeah. And remember, petting and vocal praising excites a dog as much or more than food. And now let me point out another advantage. When they were doing these original tests, they saw that the excitement level spiked the quickest with food, but it decreased the quickest. Whereas the excitement level of touch with a voice, a vocal, doesn't hardly ever decrease until you quit petting them. So you're really missing the boat if you're not incorporating commands while they're playing and they are excited, and then you get a chance to reward them with your tug, your ball, your pat, your voice, whatever. But you want them doing these behaviors while they're excited, because that's what writes it on their nervous system. That's what teaches them to react instead of act on a command. Because when they're acting, that means they got to think about it first. And when they think about it first, like some American Bulldogs, they may not want to follow through.
Which is true.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
What you got, Carol Ann? Something else going on?
Nope.
Nothing going on. Well, we got started a little late. Y'all forgive us for that. I hope if you wade through this, there's something you can value. We do have a litter of Western Shepherd pups. It could be one of the best producing litters we've ever had. Harmony, who has produced absolutely exceptional Western Shepherds, one of the top 3 producers, I guess, that we've ever had. This will be her last litter. She's had 3, and so this will be the last one. We don't breed our dogs until they wore out, so we like to retire them after 3 breeds. I mean, it takes a little bit longer to establish the program, but it also means we have really quality dogs we don't have to worry about. So I'm going. We've also got a litter on the ground right now that you can call me if you're interested in any of these dogs. Go to our website. Oh, check out our new website. We've changed the format. We're going to be making more changes as we go. Check it out, see what you think. I don't know, write me some good letters. What else, Scott?
Well, do your diligence. Be a friend to your dog. Incorporate these talents. But always remember, it's all about the dogs.
Thank you,
We'll see you
folks.
next time. Let's talk about